a story that began with silence. In that city, autumn always arrived quietly. First, the air grew colder. Then the leaves began to turn yellow. And then, suddenly, people started to speak less. Elena loved such days. There was something honest about them. No unnecessary noise. She lived alone in a small apartment on the 5th floor, overlooking an old park. Every morning began the same way: coffee, the window, music in her headphones. She had long grown used to being strong. Not because she wanted to, life had simply taught her to be. Love felt distant to her. Once, she had believed in it, waited for it, hoped for it, until one day it ended too painfully. Since then, Elena had decided loneliness was better than disappointment. But fate, as they say, doesn't like to be ignored. The meeting. It was an ordinary evening. It was raining. Elena was late and almost running down the wet street when she suddenly bumped into someone. Coffee spilled. Her heart jumped. "I'm sorry," they said at the same time. He was taller than her, with warm eyes and a slightly confused smile. His name was Maxim. He helped wipe up the coffee with napkins, laughed awkwardly, and then suddenly said, "You know, this might sound strange, but let me buy you a new one. There's a cafe right over there." She wanted to refuse, truly, but for some reason she couldn't. That's how their accident began. Between the lines. They started seeing each other more often, without loud words or promises, just walking, talking, being silent together. Maxim was different. He didn't pressure her, didn't rush her. He knew how to listen as if every thought of hers mattered. He talked about his dreams, about leaving, starting over, creating something of his own. Sometimes sadness appeared in his eyes, but he quickly hid it. Elena felt it. He was afraid of getting attached, just like she was. One night, sitting on a rooftop, he said, "It's scary to love, because you can lose everything." She replied softly, "It's scarier not to try." He looked at her, as if he had been waiting his whole life to hear those words. Love. Love didn't come at once. It crept in cups of coffee, in messages saying, "Are you home?" in the habit of falling asleep thinking about him. They laughed, argued, walked in the rain, hid from the wind under one scarf. Sometimes they just stayed silent, but in that silence there were more words than in any conversation. One day he took her hand, just like that, and she understood it was too late to run. But happiness rarely comes without trials. The separation. Maxim was offered a job